Hopefully, you have been following along as Don and Richard make their way across the country on dirt roads of the Trans-America Trail. In the last episode, both of our protagonists had a separate adventure, and at the end of the day, magically joined each other for a scheduled live stream event at the library. What you saw in that episode was a small clip of the live stream, just before the team headed back to camp. What you did not see was the hour and a half of shockingly interesting information revealed in the stream. In fact, the information is so interesting and useful that we were able to cut the record down into just over an hour. We even labeled and broke the topics down into chapters, so even the most wretched of half-wits with low attention span could follow along. If you have even a slight interest in riding the TAT at some point, you should grab a beverage and a notepad and spend a few minutes relaxing and watching the team answer viewer questions. Enjoy.
Anyway, I'm trying to tell the big story. The big story is I've got two riders with me now. Richard, who I started out with in Memphis, and John, who joined us in Salida. Hello, boys! You don't appear to be bleeding from any orifices, so everything went fine.
No orifices were involved. Fancy.
This is John, in case you haven't met him. I don't think we've shared a video with him yet, have we?
I don't think so.
I think we've just been running a gun. I've been recording, but John's new to the team. He's going to take us all the way to Green River, maybe.
Hopefully Green River.
If we don't break him in half, or if he doesn't get disgusted by the savages he's riding with. So, what do you think so far, John?
It's been a great time. Everything's been a lot of fun.
Don't lie.
No,
Did you answer Gary's question about how much TAT we got done in Oklahoma?
Why don't you do the TAT summary? Why don't you
I
talk?
would say we got 100% of it done. Was it 100% the TAT? Not necessarily.
Well,
I'm
what
sure
is 100% of the TAT? If the bridge is out, if the roads are closed, if it's underwater, does that mean we didn't accomplish?
we kept going west, I know that.
Well,
We stayed on dirt.
I feel like we've done as much as any sane person would have. I think there may be some insane people on dirt bikes and no luggage that might have gone, nah, those guys are sissies on their 800-pound motorcycles that should be about 400 pounds.
I didn't see anything we couldn't do, but
Yeah.
when you can go one block over and not go through a river or
Right.
across a sand dune.
Right. So I would say the one thing that maybe somebody might give us a hard time about is one of the places that I said no. We got into what I call the sand trap. What was that close to? The sand trap.
That was Oklahoma. Right
Was that the
before-
Panhandle or no?
Right before we got to the armpit of the Panhandle.
Armpit.
Oklahoma
But
is-
just
is
before
what
we got
it
to the
says.
armpit of the Panhandle, there was a place called the Sand Pit, because that's what I call it.
And I remember that from the last time we went.
We were. I'm
I
pretty
got
sure-
up it. No
You got up
problem.
it now. Well, you're a superior rider on
Oh,
a
yeah,
superior
yeah.
lighter bike, but
I remember
oh,
duck walking a Tenere up it. Another guy would duck walking a Tenere up it.
Well,
And
that's what
after
I
the
was doing.
twin, Struggling to duck walk up that straight incline of sand.
Well, that's what I was doing, and my duck walking, because it's
It sunk in.
it's 2-track, so it's 2-track and it's deep sand. It's probably 2 feet of sand, maybe a foot of it's kind of hard packed, but you get down in that foot that's not hard packed, and it just kind of sits there. So you're just doing this, blah blah blah. It's the back wheel. It's not really the front wheel. It's hard to turn when you're not on. If you're not planed out, it's hard to turn. So we're struggling.
Yep.
You were doing okay. You were getting through it. So it was really me that says,
I felt guilty. I remember how much I struggled last time, and I was right behind you, just going, putt,
yeah,
putt,
yeah,
putt.
just kind of gliding a little bit. But anyway, along comes a side-by-side with the rancher, farmer, whoever, the guy that lives at the house where the sign says road closed. And we've seen enough of those. We've seen dead-end signs that weren't at all a dead end. They were fully maintained roads by the county that diverged into 2 separate roads. So it's either ranchers saying, we don't want all these TAT guys coming through here. We don't want all this riffraff coming through here. So they put signs up. So we thought that initially, and then we got into the 2-track, and then you saw the 2-track disappearing over the hill. That was green grass with trenches of sand. And once I got about, I don't know, 100 yards, we ran into the rancher. I got just enough out. There was a berm on both sides. It seemed like I remember. And I got out, talked to the rancher. I was like, how far does this go? He says, 150 yards,
Yep.
maybe 150 yards more. But one of the 50-yard patches is uphill.
Yep.
And that was the one I was looking at. I was like, no, I'm done. And I just turned around and said, I'm not going to break my leg. And he said, last year somebody broke their leg out there? So.
Well,
Yeah.
the truth, I don't know if you actually look at the map, but both Sam's and the plagiarists that went that direction, had we continued to go that direction, we really would have made a left turn at the end of that section, about a mile down, went a quarter of a mile, turned left, come right back the direction we were going, only to turn right on the road that we had turned. So it really was just a section that was designed to go through the sand, I guess.
Well, and
one
that's,
time it probably wasn't sandy like that. But
that's
nobody
probably,
uses it.
I don't know what all is being said about the TAT, Sam's version, or the almost exactly similar
Miracle.
same GPS Kevin's route.
Plagiarist.
So if you don't know,
Plagiarist asshole.
Richard's got both maps. He bought both maps from GPS Kevin, so he didn't know any better when he bought Kevin's. He did it last time he did it on Kevin's.
Yep.
This time he found out about Sam's,
I
and
did buy both of them last time.
he's got both sets of maps, and we're going along. And every once in a while, Kevin's diverges from Sam. Sam's the original, the creator of the Trans-America Trail. Every once in a while, Kevin's diverges for some reason. Sometimes it's an easier route or something like that. But yeah, most of it's like so far 95, 98%.
I feel confident saying that high 90s.
90s.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
There's no, it's like Huckleberry Finn, but you sign your own name on it. It's the dumbest thing ever.
but bottom line is it's some of Oklahoma was just ridiculous because it's a grid. So you basically you go straight west across to Oklahoma, and every once in a while it'll be a right turn, go up 4 blocks, take a left turn, go out 10 blocks, take a left turn, go back 4 blocks, and you're on the same trajectory, the same path that you were before. So it's a bunch of silliness like that. I really want to talk to Sam again and maybe get an interview, and that's say exactly what everybody keeps saying. Sam, let's talk about Oklahoma. What was going on there? You're just making it your TAT. I like that.
As I've said all along, a TAT is a concept. It's not actually a
That's
line
what-
on the ground.
That's
so-
what got me from the first. He was trying to convince me to go on this trip. I was like, Trans-American Trail. Do we have to stick to the freaking thing? Do we have to be rigid? And he said, what'd you say?
I said the Trans-America Trail is more of a concept than it is actually a line on the ground.
It's a concept, meaning you
This
kind of want to do.
Carrera came up with.
Who?
Sam Carrera came up with.
You're talking about the originator
not
of the
plagiarist.
Trans-American Trail.
Not to be confused with the place.
So GPS Kevin. So my intention now, since I'm tracking our tracks, I've got tracks now. I'm just gonna go online and call it GPS Don's tracks, and I'm gonna sell it for a ridiculous price so nobody can actually afford it. But
and pretend that you went out.
and then I
found a good
pretended
ride to ride.
that we navigated this thing.
Just like it
and-
says on his website.
Yeah.
We go out and seek out. Oh, okay. I'm at a library. I can seek out a lot of information at the library.
So I will say that we came in just after the mud had dried. So by all reports in Oklahoma, it had been raining for 3 weeks, and you could tell it because man, that stuff was ugly. We were going down roads that probably nobody's driven down since it rained. 4-wheel drives going down flat roads all over the road. 4-wheel drives that can't keep a straight line. Think about that. If your front wheel can't keep a straight line, you know what happens? It's called a low side, and you tumble in the mud, and then you get up, and if nothing's broken, you go clunk, 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 and you try to grab you. Yeah, try picking up a heavy bike in mud that is slick.
No, we did that in Utah last
So
year.
that's what we agreed on. We agreed on a few things. One of them was no mud, no long distance mud. So if
Not if we can help
Oklahoma was covered in mud, we just get on the pavement and go through. but that didn't happen.
And I'm glad it didn't.
Oklahoma was it was shocking to me how nice it was, at least for probably the first half. So the eastern half was amazing. It was, what'd you call Oklahoma, that section?
Between Arkansas and Oklahoma?
Yes.
Arklahoma.
One more time?
Arklahoma.
So it's not that much different
Nope.
than Arkansas, and Arkansas was amazing.
Yep.
Amazing. Yeah, and it's just been beautiful seeing parts of the country that I never would have seen had I not and that's probably the concept, right? Is get on your bike, ride this path, because you're never going to see this if you don't ride this path.
It'd be
You're
very
never
hard
going
to
to
see a lot
Yeah.
from the seat of it, especially a street bike. Because why would you be back there?
Why would you be back there unless somebody said you need to go ride this road? Then you go, nah, it's dirty. It's got lumps. There's water crossings.
There's several spots in Oklahoma where it opened up that prairie that it was just great riding through those upper hills.
We did. I don't know if you did, but I zenned out on some of the just. Oh look, cornfields.
Well, I told you we did quite a bit of that at night last time, and that was exactly why. So it doesn't look a whole lot different during the day now that I've done it both.
Oh, is this what I went to a Renaissance fair, and I think Don should go dressed as Hagrid. Okay. Harry Potter. I'm impressed how well you two old farts are doing on the TAT. Yeah, I'm impressed too. And let me tell you, it's a lot more rugged than I expected. I expected a bunch of boring dirt roads, and there are plenty, but there are challenges. You get to Colorado, and you're going to see them. So don't take the TAT for granted. Don't take it for granted either, because it's like quartz, a lot of quartz.
Yep. Get very slick and slidey.
Yes, we want Spaz to go west. We all want Spaz to go west. But I wished he'd come hang out somewhere other than goddamn Sturgis in the woods, in the hot woods of Sturgis. Meh. Are you guys under the pinions? Sword fighting?
No, sword fighting.
We left the pinions 2 days ago
2 days
now.
ago.
And I love pinions. So, but yeah, we're in the, what would you call those? Those are going to be cedars? No, they're not cedars. They're short pines. I'm guessing they're like these guys. I think those are, what do you call them? Spruce, maybe? We're under spruce?
Sure.
Whatever is eating at the bark is just pouring with sap. So whatever makes the sap. I'm not real good. I'm going to call those spruce, and I'm thinking that's what we're hanging between. Well, I'm hanging.
You can find out.
Yeah, but I'm not going to do that during the stream. Richard's pedigree is pretty sound now that I know he has both a KLX and a T-Dub and a T7. Don't forget the T7, which he so graciously allowed me to abuse.
What a moron.
Yeah. Richard, tell the story about how you picked up those two bikes.
The TW. Who doesn't want a TW 200 in their life? If you don't have a TW 200 in your life, you don't know what you're missing. So a couple years ago, I wanted another small bike. That's why I got it. Just went out and bought it.
Okay.
The KLX comes from riding the 2.7
Yep.
on the Trans-America Trail, and I wanted to do it solo. And I know how rough it is, so I wanted a lighter bike, and I absolutely made the right decision.
Man, riding, I'm videoing, he's videoing me bouncing and bouncing and bouncing, and I'm videoing my head bouncing and him behind me, and he just seems to be going, stuff that I'm bouncing all over and doing this, he's just kind of gliding on the
I've done some work to the bike as far as tuning it up and getting it a little fast, a little more power out of it. At 10,000 feet, you can only get so much power out of it.
It's impressive seeing how well you ride that thing over the terrain that I just rode over and struggled a little bit, and you're just kind of like...
Just got to remember not to hook my foot on a piece of wood.
Yeah.
And take off and leave it behind me.
Yeah, all of his troubles have come from stopping. So stopping is your Achilles heel. Literally your Achilles heel.
I have no feeling in this leg, uneven terrain, and when that bike starts to go, it just has to go. There is absolutely no need in trying to save it.
The green country? Yeah, it's pretty green out eastern Oklahoma. But it's a little bit more rugged and challenging too. I mean, you got twists and turns, you got a few mountains and hills, and you don't have that in the especially in the Panhandle. It's just Before starting the TAT, did you two agree that you would cook along the trip? I don't think we agreed that we would cook, but cooking was in the. And I cooked last night It's the first time I've cooked, right?
Yeah.
Because we got water. I got a place to clean the dishes. Maybe I'll cook again tonight. Something. Water is the big key for me. I don't like rolling around with dirty dishes and. Well, just so many things. So cooking is hard. I've been carrying groceries on my bike for 5 days now.
Sense opinions.
And I haven't cooked. So this is the first time I've cooked. So it's really a pain in the ass. All that gear to cook is a pain in the ass. I would suggest eating simply as much as you can, because we're riding fast and light, and all the crap that I brought is just too bulky and too heavy. And yeah, if I had to do over, it's just like everything else. You learn something every time you go out and go, how can I slim down? How can I get smaller? How can I get less weight? And that's one of the things. I took a lot of stuff out of my kitchen this time. Probably saved me 4 or 5 pounds and probably that much space. So, but I think you can do without it. You don't have to have fresh food, and if you have to have fresh food, there's restaurants.
We were gonna cook the first time I went, and their portions were cooked, but like where we're at right now, I mean, Oklahoma, you're just burning across.
Right.
Beef jerky and all that work fine for me.
Yeah.
If you're a person that needs to eat 3 meals a day and you're carving out all the time, you probably better carry you some snacks.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. People that got to have 3 meals a day, I don't know how to help you. Luckily, we're both on keto. We're both
ish.
Yeah, but I mean, the big thing for us is we can live off of 1 meal a day,
Yeah,
or no meals a day. We can both do that. So it's not. Oh my God, I'm hungry. We got to stop. We got to go to a restaurant. We got to do this. We got to do that. There's no conflict there. And John is pretty much the same way. We hadn't really talked about what he eats and how he eats. He's not on keto, but he seems to be okay. Just maybe grabbing a snack.
He had a box of breakfast bars this morning.
A box of them?
He's got what he's been toting, a big old box of breakfast bars.
Dude, we got to do a tour of John's bike.
I ate a couple of them too. I'm not gonna lie.
He's got like an endless pit of stuff on his bike. He just keeps pulling out. He's got a projector and a movie screen. He hasn't even pulled that out yet. He's got all kinds of stuff. We're just sitting here going, wow, it's like a clown car. The clowns you open the door and the clowns keep coming out, and it doesn't, it's not carrying any more gear than I am, and certainly doesn't look like he is, but he's got some interesting stuff. Since you two haven't showered much, do either of you smell each other's body? Well, you smelled me going down the road the other day. That's when I knew I had to take a shower. I've been showering probably every 3-4 days.
I dust bathing every day.
Yeah, he's getting all the dirt. He's staying mostly in the rear because I can't take the dust. But yeah, he's getting all the dust. I wouldn't be able to take it. But yeah, luckily we've had an amazing start to the trip. We've stayed in luxury stuff.
Not so luxury
except except the stuff that we paid for. That was not so nice. My impression so far, I knew exactly what I was in for in the Colorado sections. I kind of know what I'm in for on the Utah sections. I haven't done a lot of off-road in Utah, but I've done enough to know. Well, you haven't done White Rim Trail.
No.
I think we need to sneak in there if we can. Just sneak in and do the White Rim. Because I think it's extraordinary. I can't imagine there being anything on the TAT through that westerly section that's going to be comparable to White Rim. So if we go off route, that's what I would say. And we risk getting chased by the Rangers. That's what I say. And just haul ass. I don't think they can catch us in those Jeeps.
We'll find out.
And maybe even go down. So we can go down. I think it's the Colorado. So the White Rim Trail is basically the convergence. Well, it goes around the bottom of the Canyonlands National Park, and they typically like you to pay, but there's a way into the park from Moab. You don't have to go way up and then come way back. You can go in from Moab and start the White Rim Trail below below Schaefer Switchback. So there's some amazing. So you got a big plateau that drops down to the river, and I think the river is the Colorado. So it's the confluence of the Green and the Colorado. I think the Colorado is the one that runs through Moab. I keep forgetting, but if we roll down the Colorado and then go up into the national park, that's White Rim Trail. That's what I would like to do. I don't know if you feel like there's something that's comparable or better up there. I'd be shocked, because basically you're riding through the freaking canyon. It's like
Right.
riding through the Grand Canyon.
I've seen footage of it.
Smaller scale, but it's beautiful. But so you're on the second or third level. So the park is, most of the park is up on the top level, which is 3 cuts down. So if you imagine Grand Canyon, you got cuts. So it cuts down to one section, it cuts down to another section, it keeps getting thinner down to the river. And this is like the middle section that you ride across the White Rim Trail, and then and you can drop down to the river, and we can camp down there because there's trees down there. Unbelievably, you look around there, it's like, where's the trees? Well, they're down by the river.
By the water.
They're down by the river, and they're up on the mountain. Otherwise, there's not really a whole lot of trees. Pinions, a few pinions. Anyway, that would be nice. But I guess we'll talk about that. What else?
No, let's see. No rain since Trinidad, really, to speak of. Just typical splattering.
Yeah, it's almost a miss. Cause
no rain gear. So.
Yeah, so you feel a little splatter, but yeah, nothing. But you know, you get up in the mountains, get higher up in the mountains, it'll spray on you, it'll snow on you, it'll do. I mean, y'all can see there's still snow out here, right?
Scott asked, how are the bike choices working out, T7 and KLX at both ends of the possible bike? Well, I think I got a unique position on that.
Yeah, tell it.
We did Cinnamon Pass. Let's track it down to Cinnamon Pass, going across Oklahoma. I rode the T7. Didn't have any problem with doing all that. When I wanted to come back, I wanted to come back with a lighter bike. There are some things the T7 are much better for on the TAT. Obviously, the miles. I struggle at altitude. I don't think you've been struggling with power.
You can tell a little bit of difference. It's just, it's not. It's. So yeah, it'll go.
Not so much on the KLX.
Right.
Of course, there's things like gearing. I actually have the gearing. I told you I brought a 13 tooth. I could have put that on it. But the KLX, for me, is a better choice, unless you're going to have to turn around and come home like I did last time and make the long ride, which I won't do on the KLX. So, the old adage everybody says about nobody wishes for a heavier bike on the TAT, I think that holds up pretty true. That's why I like
bike?
No, nobody wants
one. Yeah.
Nobody wants a heavier bike on the KLX.
You certainly don't want to pick it up, and you want to make it across the obstacles.
Right. So for the KLX, for me, and then of course now with the leg issue, it's certainly much better than having to pick it up. But both of them, super capable. I know I got all the way through it once before on the T7, so I would say it's the right bike. I would say the KLX is the right bike. I would say my TW200 is the right bike.
Wow.
I would say whatever bike you really want to get out on and go, you better make sure that you know how to handle that bike. The spree field, just think about that. I mean, you know, if you're out there by yourself, make sure it's a bike you can definitely pick up and manage on your own.
That is one of the things that I would say again, is that we've already run into at least 2 people.
Yeah, they were really struggling.
I've already put up the second day where we helped the guy on the Himalayan. I think he was pretty far over his head. He was very loaded down on
It was high.
It was a heavy, small bike, you know, underpowered Himalayan, 400 cc's, but it's heavy. But it'll crawl out of pretty much anything. I just don't think he had like, I don't know, 70 30s on the, I can't remember exactly the tire. They weren't the worst, but they weren't the best. And I don't think he had any sand skills at all. And he went down twice, and he was probably closing on 70. He was well into his 60s at least, but
he was out there doing it though.
He was doing it by himself, which is that's the other thing I would say is, man, if you're not sure of your skills, if you're not completely comfortable, if you're not in survival mode, don't be going out in the middle of nowhere by yourself and learning how to ride a motorcycle. I'm not saying this guy was, but I have my suspicions, and I have my suspicions that a lot of people are trying to do this themselves, and they're going to get in trouble, and they're going to get hurt, they're going to stay in pain for a long time, and they might die of dehydration. I would think that would be a pretty common occurrence.
Dehydration.
Maybe the most.
That's another thing. People need to make sure you stay hydrated.
Yeah, that's difficult. It's not easy.
No, I mean, you got to work at it. I mean, you're not going to find, if you're going to search water, like I said, $1.29 for a gallon of water. Any dollar robber is fine with me. Out here, we can pick water. I filtered water this morning. That's
until we get down to Colorado or Utah.
Then it'll be back tougher. From this trail, it'll be back to the dollar robbers buying them for $1, probably $1.59 out there.
And I can filter. 2 days? Yeah, 2 days ago, I filtered from a beautiful little creek that had cow shit all over it. But I needed water. I was out of water, and stuck my filter in there, and I haven't died yet. But also, I have lapped water from a filthy hoof print and been glad to have it.
If I ever meet one of you Texas waddies who says he had never drank water out of a horse track, I think I'll shake his hand, give him a Daniel Webster cigar. Maybe it is true. Maybe lapping water off the ground is ranger policy.
You're getting ready to show your ignorance now, Cogburn.
I've heard of that story a time or two.
All right, who's up next?
Keith, you will die from heat on the White Rim Trail this time of year. That's a good possibility.
That's 100 miles of nothing but, well, there's the Colorado River. We can go down to the river. We can go down the river and take a swim because it's nice down there. It's swift, but it's a sandy. Yeah.
How have the bike's been handling the TAT, and what would you have done different knowing everything you've done so far? For me, I've made the right bike choice. Bike's been doing, I haven't had any issues outside, other than, it is a little bit underpowered. We're hitting the long straights and you're doing 70 and I'm giving it the beans and it wants to go 60. That's all I can do.
Yeah.
But it has been a good choice for me.
Well, I'll tell you, I feel blessed to have been able to ride that T7. I figured that was a pretty good bike just from the reviews I've seen, and I've kind of been sweating it, trying to figure out how I'm going to get one. And now I'm doubly sweating it. I have 3 motorcycles for sale. If anybody wants a V-Strom, a 1200 RT, or a 1050 Tiger, they're all for sale because that's a do-it-all bike, and those are rare. My 650 was as capable, but not anywhere near as fun carrying luggage. So, and mine was highly modified. So
I think you could live off of that bike.
Absolutely.
Just like you did last year on the Tiger, you could do it off.
Well, not just that. I can go to the places I want to go. The Tiger has turned me around. I mean, that place that John went and explored last night. I wanted to go up there, but I was like, I don't want to take Gary up there, and I may get in trouble myself up there. So, anyway, there's just been too many things, and not just clearance, if nothing else. The ability to put knobbies, a steel rim with spokes, something that can take rocks. It's a completely different experience going up to Animas Forks on my Tiger. It about beat me to death. Broke my horn off just because it's vibrating so bad. It's terrible. But coming down it last night, it wasn't fun, but it was, I could do 30 on it where I was doing 15 on that Tiger and trying to find the softest, slowest rock. Anyway, I love the T7. I'm going to do a review of it. I've got Moscow bags on it. It's all outfitted perfectly. I mean, for an adventure bike, I can't imagine, and it's got 6 feet of clearance underneath the frame. I bottomed it out 3 times on some rugged stuff. Bottomed it out 3 times. That's it. And even on my G650, I was bottoming it out probably more than that.
Yeah, we've hit some stuff that was pretty rough. I mean, it's definitely going to do that.
I think if you look at that T7, can you see it back there? Damn, I can't see. If you look from here, it looks like that T7 has got maybe an inch or 2 more clearance than that KLX. So I don't know. I love it. I think it's the perfect bike for me, which is why all my bikes are for sale. And sexual favors,
whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes, I need to get one of those bikes. So if that's not a sales pitch, hey Yamaha, call me. What else we got?
Yes on the lettuce. There's no question about that. But I'm not gonna answer your questions on that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. Hard to find the perfect bike when you're going far on. Yeah, that's the issue. I
What's
mean, it's hard to find the perfect bike for when you're going on a long trip on and off road.
You got to figure out what you're going to give up.
Yeah.
You know, are you going to give up luxury and performance for traction and ability? You know, you can't have there is no perfect bike. You could say, you know, everybody thinks that the big GSs and the big KTMs and
There are no unicorns.
yeah. So you're going to have to give up something. Eventually,
That's a good candidate, though.
you're going to have to pick up that bike. You're going to have to pick up the bike. John, you want to come join us? Anybody got any questions for John? He's riding an AJP. Anybody know what an AJP is? That's probably a pretty good topic. Sit in that chair before you bring it over. Make sure it's not going to collapse. It looks like a push down with your hands.
Yeah, test it.
Does it seem like, well,
Stronger than my tusk.
bring your chair over, man. Bring it over. John joined us 3 days ago
Slide.
in Salida. Get as close to this man as you can, because this is not a widescreen.
Make sure it'll slide not off of the edge. Don't lose a foot off that back corner.
Hey, we don't talk about losing feet around here.
Yeah.
So John joined us in Salida, came down from Avon, rocking the AJP, looking like a pro, pretty much everything he does, and going, I don't know, I didn't struggle, I don't know what you guys were talking about. Pretty funny. So nobody knows what the AJP is, I bet. But since we've been out here riding, he's run into 2 other AJP riders, and they're like, "Oh, you got the AJP!" So it's apparently some strange, you know, it's like riding, what are those bro superiors? Yeah, he's riding his bro superior, and he's running to 2 guys that's got a bro superior, and you know, and so he's like this. He's Jay Leno out here. He's riding around on the rarest ADV bike. What did you call it? Dill Sport or ADV? What do you think, class-wise?
It's right in the middle.
Yeah, right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
The unicorn. That's the perfect unicorn.
I've seen online people cuss it out saying it's not an adventure bike. Well, what is?
Yeah.
Anything you want to go on, that's
Yeah.
it.
T-Dub's a pretty good adventure bike.
Yeah.
CT 125 people do it. Groms.
How about a 50cc Chinese scooter? Anybody ever heard of a guy doing an adventure on a... I mean, he's traveling light. He's got a ground pad.
He has a ground pad.
That's about it, right? He's got a big toolkit that he sticks under the... Well, that's done. If y'all didn't see that one, go check out... Go check out Garrett Peterson. I've done a couple, 3 interviews with him, and just hanging out in Canton, getting soused on gin, and yeah. Anyway, so tell us about the big thing today at the lake. Your big ride.
Oh, we were so close. I got us lost 2 or 3 times.
We'll call it twice. But they weren't bad loss, like I said.
Oh, they were great rides.
Great rides, so.
We were on asphalt to, wasn't molasses.
Molas Pass?
Molas Pass. And that was really nice. And we got on the wrong highway, and we came back, and we got on another highway, and
Went past our spot.
went past our turn, and that was really nice. That was 550, I think. And then we got onto the right road, past some campground, Kendall. And then up, little road on the side just went up, and there we went. And switchbacks, and then up. And then this amazing waterfall, and we visited with some people, and they were telling us we were less than a mile away, but there was 4 feet of snow between here and there.
4 feet of snow.
On the road.
So why didn't y'all go?
We had a live stream to get
Yeah,
to,
there's a
Don.
live stream. Right?
And sometimes you just gotta know when to say when.
But adventure.
I have a
Question
lot more
mark.
adventure to go, and I thought, well, you know, this was a sidebar, and you know, do I really want to end my adventure here?
Do y'all want to talk about the video that they're not going to see for a while? No. That's one of the videos coming up in the next couple of 3 days. We're riding through a river. It's about 2.5 feet deep,
We
maybe.
really should have got better footage. That's me. I should have started the camera before I started.
Well, that's why I could have probably gotten
But
a
I'm
little
an
bit
amateur,
closer.
man.
Yeah.
What was your excuse?
My camera was dead. That was my excuse. My camera was dead. That's why I went and grabbed yours. I was like, give me the camera. Give me the camera. Bring the camera down here because we're 50 yards away. And he's like, I can't get off the bike. I said, run. You're on the bike. Run your ass down here. And just stopping. That's going back to the same thing. Stopping. Anyway, yeah, that footage will be coming out. We forged the river, all three of us. Two of us struggled. One of us just kind of made it look like, yeah.
One of us made it look
Why
like
are y'all struggling? Why are y'all got your feet down, duck paddling? Yeah.
My feet were out.
Your feet were on the pegs.
No, they weren't.
No, they weren't.
Oh, they weren't?
Oh,
well,
I had outriggers.
you sure look like you were. Okay.
Well, the water was
The
that
distance,
deep, yeah.
the distance made you look like you was like, it's a river, but we'll get through it. Just go, 20 miles an hour. It's all good.
We'll get through. No big stones. And that was a good thing. No big stones in the middle.
It's always a good thing. It's kind of really hard to tell in 2 feet of water. When it's brown, yeah, you got this much visibility, and 2 feet of water, yeah, that's kind of scary.
The tire tracks would be deeper, and the rock would be either in the middle or on the edge.
But the big reveal is we've had some pretty deep water crossings, but that was on the BDR that we took.
That was on the BDR.
We took a day trip out of Salida and
Tenere.
did Cottonwood Pass, and then we did what the heck was that?
Mirror Lake.
Oh, yeah.
Mirror
We went
Lake.
to Mirror Lake.
There's a lake up there with 100 freaking side by sides.
Oh.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a pretty lake. We went up there, and we hung out in Tin Cup and talked to the guy that told us about
Mirror Lake.
Mirror Lake.
another AGP owner. And yes, AGP. Yes, indeed. Sport Bike Todd says you're not doing it right. Hey, Todd, what's up, man? Old man. Would a Ural do? How would a Ural do on the TAT? I think the Ural is a very capable bike. It's 50, 60-year-old technology, maybe 70-year-old technology.
There's nothing that we've done up to this point, and nothing that I've done on it in the past that I haven't driven a Ural. I would think it would make it if the Ural would hold up.
Well, yeah, a lot of Ural owners even will say they're just hard to keep running. And, it's point. I think they're still using points. They don't have electronic ignition. So it's maybe it's based off of like a 30s, 40s model BMW.
Yep.
Russians copied it, and they haven't changed anything. It's built pretty well. I've never heard of anybody breaking one in half. I think it's a lot like the Himalayan. It's not a lot of go, but it's cast iron. You can't break cast iron, right? And
you probably wouldn't get in a great big hurry, but it'd be like riding a TW across the country.
I did have a friend, Doug Wathke, Round the World Doug, that rode it was not a Ural. He rode I think it was a Harley with a sidecar. Maybe it was a Ural. He rode a sidecar over one of these passes up here. So they're capable bikes, just,
I wouldn't take it through the street.
Yeah, no. So the big thing, the challenging parts, you need suspension, you need tires, and just a little bit of power. So everybody concentrates on the power, and the power has very little effect on stuff out here.
I didn't
very
have a lot
little.
of power. I really, like we were talking about, I've got a 300cc engine at 10,000 feet.
Yep.
We'll just call it a 200cc engine.
Well, and I would say the Ural falls into that category that, heavy, low power, not a lot of suspension, but a Himalayan will go. It's a goat. It will climb like a goat. Same like a KLR. It's a tractor. You just get on it, put it in first gear, and you just go, and it'll go. So if it's anything you can do that without bouncing it off the trail. And I'm having some suspension problems now because probably it's not adjusted correctly on very particular types of terrain. I'll probably go into that in another video, but yeah, to me, power is for people with small penises. So that's why they keep coming up with these 800, 900, 950, 110. We're going to be 1,500cc motorcycles.
I'm on the 300cc. I'm just going to say that.
Well, but I mean, it makes almost no difference. It may make your dick seem to you to be bigger, but it's not making you get up that trail you'll go a bit faster.
Or maybe you'll get in trouble faster.
But yeah, 250cc bike will do fine anywhere out here, anywhere on the trail, at probably lower. So you need good suspension, you need good tires, and just enough power to get you up the hill. Other than that, it's all dick. It's all loud pipe save lives, and all the bullshit that comes with motorcycles. And I got to go faster than my buddy, so I got to spend $3,000 to get 2 more horsepower. It's a disease, and it's a fallacy to think that you got to have a big bike to do any of this stuff. It's bullshit. So don't listen to the bullshit. So Ural would probably get you out.
I am correct. Those are 2-wheel drive, correct?
If it's got a sidecar.
Yeah, especially in the sidecar with that.
Yeah.
As long as you took your time.
I don't think it'll be pleasant on sections. I don't think
There's
it'll be pleasant.
some of that really rough stuff. I don't think they have a great suspension. So, but if you're not in a hurry, you like puttering around a TW200.
There you go. You would probably have a better time through the scree fields than we did, but you'd just be bouncing a lot.
Yeah.
And the odds of you flipping over are pretty slim. There's no single track yet. We haven't done any single track, so there's nothing really. I don't know. Anything?
I would do it. If I had a Ural right now that was running, and somebody said, you think you could do the 10 on the Ural? I said, I don't know. I'll find out.
Yeah, let's find out. Let's find out.
So yeah,
let's find out what the CT 125 is going to do out here. I would do that.
Oh,
I don't know how much luggage I would take, but
I don't know how much I'd pay. Probably not much, but I'd pay money to watch you do a 125 cross country. You look like a clown on a Shriner's bike.
Walking it up the hill.
TW says, any beers being consumed? And I would say, this man's drinking the beer. I have not bought a single beer. True or false? Have I bought a single beer since I've been on the TAT?
I haven't seen any alcohol in either one of you.
Well, that's a lie. I was being honest and saying I haven't bought any beers.
No, the light went off.
This is the beer drinker so far. I'm trying to stay keto. You don't really drink that much anymore.
But thank you, Matt. We did then.
Matt has treated us.
That was a treat.
Yeah. Thank you, Matt. I hope to see you again in that bottle of High Point.
Just leave the peanut butter whiskey alone.
Yeah, there has been.
I'm kidding.
Gary, you'll enjoy this. He also brought out some. What do you call those?
The airline bottles.
Airline bottles of whiskey. I've never seen it, but they were delicious and they went down really
peanut
fast.
Butter whiskey.
Yeah, I think we, Gary, you.
That
yeah.
10-pack didn't last very long.
you would have enjoyed that. I think 2 guys with a Ural and a TAT sounds awesome. Oosh. I don't know, man. I like my spine, so I'm gonna say suspension. I go back to suspension and tires. Suspension and tires. And I learned that lesson, I don't know, a decade ago. It's like, once you ride a bike with really good suspension on nasty roads, all of a sudden everything changes. Like, I'll give up 1,000 cc's. I'll ride I'll ride a 50 horse bike anywhere as long as it's got good tires and good suspension, period, and ground clearance. So, Keith, how about the monkey on the TAT? He should do it, but Gary, I don't know if you knew, Keith's got a DR650. He's outfitting it to come hang out with us. He hasn't said that, but I know he's going to be hanging out with us before we make the loop back. But I'm certain
I double dog dare him.
Double dog dare Keith. It's out there. Come find us. Yeah, I sent you an email with all the particulars. Sure.
We have internet.
Man, I didn't see your email. Sorry, dude.
There was no internet that whole way across Oklahoma.
Unless you're talking about something a while back. I'm sorry. I put the form out just so I could have everybody that wants to hang out along the route a way to contact everybody. And you didn't make that list because you missed the thing for the form. The form that I sent you this morning. Maybe we'll hook up on the way back. That's the best I can do, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, let's just keep in touch. That's the main thing. And YouTube comments is not the way to communicate. I can't keep up with the comments. YouTube sucks. They don't show me all the comments. If you don't get a response from me, and you made a slightly interesting comment, if you don't get a heart from me, and you don't get most of them, if you ask me a question on any of the comments, I will respond. I'll respond to almost all of them. Unless it's just, if you're giving me platitudes, I'll send you a heart. That's it. Thank you. That's nice comment. Thank you. If you're asking me a question or you got a serious comment, something that needs to be addressed, I respond to almost all of them. If you don't get that, shoot me an email. Go to the about page. YouTube sucks for communication. That's why I set up the Facebook page. You can find my email on the about page. So don't let the opportunities go by, because these two guys are riding with me because of YouTube. So
True story.
and probably everybody I'm pretty much hanging out with besides
And a
Carl.
double dog dare.
Everybody but Carl that I've ridden with is YouTube. That's how we met each other. So, and for some reason Carl hadn't ditched me yet. I don't know. But yeah, communication on this platform is horrible. So use the Facebook page, find the email. If you're a tin hat, I can't help you. That's the best I can do. I'm not starting another website. I'm not doing some secure thing. Oh, you should stop by Minnie's Haberdashery. They'll Telluride, really. I don't know that we're going that far north. So we're going below Telluride. I really don't know. After we leave here, after we cross 550 and then get over in that area, I'm not really familiar with anything over there. So, and you haven't been that route either. So it's all unknown where we're going after that. Yeah, I don't think the monkey would be fun riding. I'm sure it would get around, but mentioned today about the way back. We'll do. Just bought a Himalayan yesterday. Ah, okay. That'll be fun. Yeah, you need to do your best to hit a section. We got to get your spot tracker done so everybody knows where we're at. I'm trying to do the daily updates, but it's hard. I put out 4 videos today, so I don't have to while we're traveling through these mountains and I don't have any internet. So I've got all my videos scheduled for the next 4 days while we're defying death through the mountains. Yeah, but do your best, man. Do your best to reach out. Just hit me. I don't know how I missed your email, but that's not that odd. But yeah, we'll hook up. Do a section with us. I don't know what section you're interested in tagging along, but we'll work you in if it's something even anywhere close to our route. I'm trying to talk Richard into doing a big loop and then doing maybe Ride the Divide, so splitting Canada to Mexico and then going home after that. But maybe even a section would be nice. Half the Ride the Divide would be nice. I'd just like to see what it is. But y'all know me. I like this cold weather at altitude, and summer sucks. And we're gonna have to do Utah in the heat. We're gonna have to do the desert of Oregon in the heat, and then we're gonna turn north, maybe do some Washington, and then maybe some rainforest, and then back into the heat, and back into the heat. And Sturgis sucks. and it's funny. It's funny to hear the locals go, "Ooh, it's hot today." I was like, "It's 78." And this is one of the locals too, and he giggles. Yeah, it's really funny getting up here and you're like, "I'm standing in the sun. I can keep standing in the sun. I can stand here and get sunburned, and it's fine because it's 40% humidity and 82 degrees, and all the locals are going, whew, it's so hot."
It's humid.
Yeah, it's humid. It's like 45%. Yeah, we left Mississippi, 102 and 85% humidity, and we made it out alive. We drank a lot of water that day.
The the KLX is a 2021, so it's fuel injected.
TAT Utah Path. Can you describe our Utah Path?
Hot. I'd have to.
He's talking about the path. I
Yeah.
think, so.
No,
So we're going south of here after we do California Pass to Corkscrew Gulch or Corkscrew Pass. I think it's Corkscrew Pass. I'm interesting because there's supposed to be a dangerous climb up Corkscrew. I've never been over there, so I don't know. But yeah, there's actually a warning symbol on the Corkscrew uphill. So I don't know if that's a downhill danger or an uphill danger. It's probably one of those.
Find out.
It's probably like a ledge road that's a downhill off camber, and you just go, ah! There's a lot of that around here. 100-foot, 200-foot drop. Anyway, They had inscribed outside on the billboard. It said gas, food, blah, 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 film. And I was like, okay, they just haven't taken that down because it's a nice inscribed, painted thing. And I walked in and I said, yes, ma'am, I would like to have some film. And she says, okay, what kind? I said, so you really have film? She said, yeah, it's expensive. I said, how much? $36 a roll. $36 a roll. So if you want some film, there's your place.
36 exposures for $36.
Probably, yeah. So $1, yeah, it's back to back to the way things used to be. Huh? All right, TAT Utah path. I guess it's too technical to explain. Oklahoma and Kansas were flat enough where you made good time. Yeah, it was fun. Kansas was pretty. That section of Kansas was surprisingly nice. Relatively flat, some rolling hills. That part of Oklahoma, not too thrilling, but I mean it's okay. I would say, kind of what we've both been saying. You don't skip Oklahoma unless it's muddy.
You should. There's not an alternative. I mean, you can hard slab it. That's
Well,
not really what you're.
I guess that's what I meant. Don't skip the dirt roads
Just
because
because-
the pavement is not that far away. You can wuss out, but this is what you're going to do on the pavement. Yet you might actually. I mean, it'll keep you awake. Going, okay, is there a rut coming up? Is there a patch of sand? Is there gravel coming up? And it
you'll see a
always
lot of
wakes you
those.
up.
You'll see a lot. You won't see
Yeah.
from the other roads.
Yeah. Seems like either snow or heat. Wondering about early September.
Be nice.
Oh, okay. I missed the first one. If you could do the TAT at any time of year, what would be best for weather? So, I like Colorado in September, but you also get pretty extreme temperature or weather changes in September and October. You get a lot of snow.
October,
coming.
yeah. September should be good.
September would probably be good for. All the passes will be clean by then, right?
Mhm.
So,
Cold
and
at
then-
night, maybe doubtful.
but yeah, as far as the rain, I think the biggest problem is not heat; it's going to be rain. Are you riding across muddy roads? And there's no telling. We left Oklahoma; they had 3 weeks of rain, so everything was completely saturated. So it's hard to answer. I
If
would
you
guess.
had to plan, well, later to me would be better. You know, for me, I need to be back around September. But if you go too early, you always run the risk of getting out here and running into snow passes that you can't get through.
Right.
So, you know, a little bit later would probably be better. You know, start mid-July to me would be a good time to start. No matter what you do, you're gonna have to deal with a little bit of heat.
Well, I tell you, I started last year too early for the route that I took. I took a clockwise approach. I went up to the Great Lakes. It was too freaking cold in May in the Great Lakes. It was way too cold. So I would say end your trip with that route. But I would say if you're leaving from the south like I did, start in May. But then you've got that unknown of has it been raining balls everywhere till you get to the mountains? I don't know. I don't know what the conditions are. That's too early to cross the passes. So May is way too early to
Right.
cross it. They're still covered in snow till June, July, right?
End of June, yeah.
Yeah.
And this year, so much snow.
Well, y'all ran into snow today, so they haven't cleared all the passes. What size is the AJP? What did you say, 630?
600.
600. And a brief description is
It's an old Husqvarna TE 630 engine.
okay,
And then,
which were pretty hardcore.
I think so. They all had pretty good reviews. it
Tons
seems.
of power,
Lots of
lots
power.
of response,
Lots of torque. Lots
very
of power.
reliable.
We'll see.
We'll see.
That I'm not.
But you said old. It's the old design that somebody bought.
And then added fuel injection.
Okay.
Because Husqvarna, I think they stopped making it maybe 2011 when they stopped making their 600, and then it sat around for a few years. And BMW, when they sold to KTM, they sold that engine to SWM, an Italian company. And then AJP learned that it was available because they were going to put some Yamaha 600 in there, but then they went with this Husqvarna engine instead, and they've been happy with it.
And there you have the history of
The
AJP.
history of the engine of the AJP.
Did you guys ever ride in the nude?
Not yet.
Not yet. Ah! Not yet. We got to pick the time and the place. Oh, I did moon somebody. I was taking a shower at camp earlier, and you got the looky-loos. They're slowly creeping by camp. Then that's my rule now. If they're creeping by camp, and they do this, fine. If they do this, if they look back, they get the fucking balls. They get the ass. They're gonna see what they're
Glad
looking
we
for.
weren't there to witness that.
Yeah.
They're gonna see what they're looking for.
That's out of the camp for sure.
I suggest you do a half-day ride, pick up oodles of ribs and steaks and beans, and do a live stream cookout from there. If somebody invites us to their house, we will do something like that. I'm not carrying any more groceries for 4 days on the bike. That's just too much. Beer, potatoes and grilled veggies, MG, Road Nude, and Bonneville Salt Flats. If we make it to the Salt Flats, I guarantee I'm going to ride nude again because I still hold the record. I'm still the record holder for the fastest naked man.
Oh, you have done this.
I've done the Salt Flats naked at about a $1:24,
Oh, now it'll leave a mark.
and all I had on was some sandals and a smile. And I filmed it. It's out there. Go check out fastest naked man. It's on the channel. You'll find it. It's a short. It's a minute or two. Yeah, I plan. Well, not only that, we talked about camping on the Salt. I've never done that. I've been out there many, many times, and I've never camped. I've always wanted to camp out there. And my buddy Derek, I don't know if he actually camped out there, but he set his doggone haven up there, and I thought it was amazing. So, what are y'all doing?
He's going to the store.
Grocery store closes in 15 minutes.
What are you getting?
Anything you want.
What are you getting?
That chicken that you were telling me about.
They're out of the chicken. I went by there earlier.
Oh.
But they got stuff. Check out the deli. See what they
I'll
got.
look in the deli.
Yeah, yeah.
If not, it's probably pepperoni, and last night was Canadian bacon.
Oh, yeah. Better hurry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want anything?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
2 of Diet Coke.
2 Diet Coke.
Oklahoma TAT is 30 minutes away, I think.
I'll be where the bananas are.
Dude, go do that. Go do that. Yeah, I think you'll have fun. What part?
You know, at the end of the aisles. It's on the
I think didn't you say you're close to Liberal? Is that you, or am I getting you confused with somebody else? Because that's like midway, isn't it? Anyway,
Thank you.
yeah, get on it and do it. I don't remember anything. There's some ruts, some dried ruts. They're tricky. There's some sand, there's some gravel, but nothing. Just go out there and have fun, man. Learn your bike, especially if you're gonna ride a section with us. I don't know if you're planning on camping. You've got all your gear and everything. Since you got this new ADV bike. That Himalayan would be good out here. I tell you, it would climb. Hope you got some decent tires on it. Don't worry about the tires. I mean, if we hook up with you in Kansas, it's not gonna make much difference. I don't think. Kansas, Oklahoma. I don't know. I'm not sure which route we're going back, but things will develop. What else we got? We're running out of daylight here. I'm an hour late. Oh shit! I'm an hour late. Hey, look, man. You can
Better
go
late
back.
than never.
You can go back and rewind it. I think what happens when the stream is over, if you're not in the stream, you can't rewind it after like 30 minutes, and then it processes and takes out all my dirty language and does all that stuff. But eventually you'll be able to go back and watch this. I think a lot of this stuff, a lot of my streams, I take offline.
That's that AJP. Don't sound good.
There he goes. Off into the sunset. It's a pretty cool bike. I'm usually not impressed with bikes I know nothing about, but I'm impressed. Not just that, but seeing him ride it.
It's got my attention.
Yeah. We got some more questions here. What do we got here? It's not the same. Can't BS with all.
Later, second board.
Yeah, man. See you later. Well, keep in touch. How many questions? We're losing viewers, so pop out those questions if you got them. Otherwise, we'll try to do another live stream once we get good, solid internet somewhere down the road.
Yeah,
But
a bunch of them just popped in on me.
who did?
Gotta go back all the way back then. Hi. Nope, I got you.
Did anybody ask a question that we haven't answered?
Not that I saw.
Oh, live music. When does that start?
It's just a jam.
Okay, cool.
I don't see any that we missed.
Well, if you've asked a question and we did not answer it, please ask it again because I'm scrolling. It's hard, and I got to back up, but I may have missed it. So, in case you're new, this is Silverton, Colorado. This is day 14, 15, something like that. 12, something like that.
Yeah, I think tomorrow we need to do an assessment of exactly where day we're at.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
And we do need to do some mileage because I'm trying to keep track of my tire. I just shot some footage of my front tire.
Sure, I can tell you exactly how far we've been since we started. That might be it.
So I'm running Kenda big blocks, and they've been performing extraordinarily well. But I don't think I'm going to get 2,500 out of that front. I may not be getting 2,000. I think we're closing on 2,000 miles. The rear looks pretty good. I think it's probably 40%, but the front looks more like 20, maybe 20%. And it's a smaller tire, so it's going to wear quicker, especially since I'm doing all my braking on the front, 90% of it.
2,499 miles.
Oh, wow. 2,499 miles, just under 2,500. Well, I guess the last 500 didn't feel like work. The first 1,500 miles were just like a little bit of a drudge, but you get up into the altitude and all of a sudden it's like, oh, time flies, right? What are the tunes we're playing tonight?
I have no idea. I'm gonna follow you.
That's what she said. I had a jam going on tonight.
Yeah, we're not with you guys. We just saw, I guess, a ukulele or
yeah.
something went in there before a small.
It's my first time here.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Well, you have a great time.
Appreciate it.
$24.99.
$24.99.
Well, that's what you guys. Y'all put another 50 on yours today.
Okay, $24.49.
Still 2,500 miles. Wow. Okay, so I was just talking about tires and my concern about the tires. So I meant to make some phone calls today because Moab's a possibility of getting tires. Montrose is a definite. There's no problem. I'd probably walk in there and get exactly what I want for that bike. Maybe not exactly, but pretty close.
That's where we got tires before.
Montrose is absolute.
Same
They got a couple.
tires made it to Montrose from my house last time, so maybe we can make the Montrose on that.
Well, so maybe we should discuss options now because we were talking about leaving in the morning. I have no idea what we're getting into in between here and Moab, but there's not a lot in between here and Moab. So we're going north out of here, California, Corkscrew, and then back on 550, and then at some point we're going to turn west again after we come south a few miles. Probably not to Silverton. I don't think we're coming back to Silverton. We're coming back. We're coming out of Ironton. Well, maybe we do come out of Silverton. I don't know. It's kind of hard keeping up with the route. Keeping up with the route while we're trying to follow the route is hard, and then trying to look at the next day.
Yeah, I'm following the line. I'll be 100%. I look at the line and we follow the line. So.
Yeah. So you've done this before. This is my first time actually navigating anything more than 30 miles. I've done that, just kind of following a route or following a road that I wanted to go down, and it's not like GPS, like you think of it. You're driving down the road, turn right, 100 yards. Nothing like that. What we're doing is following different colored lines, but I'm following a red line. That's Sam's path. I'm following a red line, and when I look down, and my carrot is off of that red line, that means I missed a turn. It's pretty much the same on your GPS.
Exactly.
Your high dollar GPS is actually. There's no really a better way to do it, and I'm guessing that's what everybody does. Nobody knows where the turn is because there's roads everywhere, and you're just going down the road, following a track, trying to doing a simple game of keep the carrot, the pointer, keep the pointer,
On the line.
keep the pointer. Mine kind of looks like that. I don't know what yours does. And my map rotates and my carrot rotates, and it depends on which way it wants to do every day. So it's kind of hard, and we've missed 100, 150 turns.
Yeah,
We
I'd
lost
like to know what
count.
the over-under is per day. Mississippi's tough. Mississippi's got a lot of confusing turns.
So what's the technique? The technique that I've learned, I don't know if it's the same as yours. The technique is you're rolling down the road. There's a road. You'll look at the map. and you keep riding. And if you start diverging, you miss the turn, and you know exactly where it is. That's kind of what I don't know if you've got another technique that that's it.
You know when you miss, and a lot of the intersections come together at odd angles, so the GPS is trying to rotate. You think you're going to go right, and right as you go right, the map rotates, and you actually should be going left.
Well, it's fun, and we're rocking the Cardos, so we can talk as long as we've got line of sight, which I don't know how the hell anybody does this, riding two a pair. I don't know how anybody does it without communication. I don't know how you do it, because I think it would have been a lot less. I think we would have been harshing each other's mellow had we.
Harshing each other's mellow.
You know, waiting for Don because Don's ahead and Don missed the turn, and nobody could talk to Don because Don's just on his, he's just doing his thing and having a good time, thinking he's on the route and he's not. And and then he's waiting on me 15 minutes later when I come showing back up with my tail between my legs. What happened? Why aren't you behind me? Because we can't communicate. And still, even with the Cardos, communication is huge, and we keep screwing it up. So communication, well, I would say probably number one is if you're going to ride with somebody, make sure you're somewhat compatible. I think we're very compatible, but yet we still at each other's throats. Communication, having the right equipment, having something that's not going to fail on you. We've already had some small failures, nothing dramatic, but
can't leave laptops plugged in overnight.
Twice I've woken up. Well, no, I haven't woken up at all. I plugged in the laptop into the bike and just forgot about it. It doesn't like to draw juice for an hour because that laptop will suck 90 watts out of that battery real quick. So the new method now is to plug it up just before I'm ready to crank up. And if I don't get ready, go over there and crank the bike up and let it warm up. Get it up to operating temperature. That's a video that's coming up. What do y'all know about operating temperature and warming up your bike? How long should you warm up your bike? That's a video coming up. Any comments? Who's left a comment so far? Come on, y'all. Don't be afraid. We're running out of time here. We can't dilly dally. Sun's going down. We got things to do. And people are slowly trickling. We did pass through the Choctaw Nation, Indian Territory. It's a wild place. A store would be a good place to get information on the territory. And we got information on the territory. So just a little bit ago, maybe 2 or 3 hours ago, I was down by the creek performing my necessaries. So. So what's the plan for tomorrow? We'll give them a teaser. What's the plan for tomorrow? We're gonna get up 7-ish, depending on when John wants to wake up.
No, we're gonna get up 7 o'clock. We're gonna be on the road by 9.
9 o'clock, and we're heading back up the canyon up to Animas Forks. We're gonna take a left going west into California Pass. Shouldn't be. It's kind of a rocky hill climb, but nothing dramatic. But it's beautiful. It's a big cirque that we climb up, get over the pass, and then we take corkscrew out to 550, and then we go south. And if I had a phone in front of me that had the map pulled up, I could tell you where we're going from there. Hit 550, go south, then we turn west on something, and then we go somewhere, and then we're gonna wind up in Utah. Hopefully, maybe tomorrow sometime. I don't know.
Probably 2 days.
And
I had to guess.
then probably Moab in 2 or 3 days, maybe. And that's all I got to say about that. You got anything final words?
I think that's about it.
More streams coming up, but most importantly, you've been updated. 4 videos coming out next 4 days. Thanks for hanging out, y'all.